What's going on is something that the federal government better start paying attention to. There's going to be some change.
We wanted a strong, militant Canadian union that would stand up for working people.
Come on up.
I was looking for increased strength, an ability to really be on the offensive.
Créer un nouveau syndicat là, plus puissant qui pourrait finalement représenter plus de secteurs d'activité économique.
I accept because this is an act of hope and solidarity that we can build a better world for every Canadian.
That was a really exciting time to see whether two very proud unions could come together.
J'accepte la nomination. J'ai très hâte de travailler avec tout le monde. Merci.
The founding convention was very exciting. It was full of energy. It was full of hope. I'll never forget it. Quite frankly, I'll never forget it.
I think it was a great fusion of this strong, sophisticated, smart organization that really had an understanding that if you're going to represent workers, there are many different elements that you have to bring together.
The building of such a powerful trade union movement that can not only alter the House of Labour, but that can alter the House of Canada.
We all had to hunker down under the Harper years. They were after workers, they were after social justice groups.
We took a look and we saw that the labor movement was under attack and that working class politics had shifted to the right and there had to be a dramatic change. The first 3 years have been really about building. We worked for a year on the structures. We talked about the Constitution. We put into places all the pieces of the puzzle.
I've loved working with the regional councils, our new rank and file structures.
Avec le renforcement des sections locales, on a fait 2 fois la tournée du Québec, rencontré les délégués partout dans les régions.
We did basically 50 town halls throughout the country. This conversation with our members really showed that our activists want to do more.
The one thing that we knew is that it wasn't going to be just a merger where we just came together and became bigger, that we had to revitalize, reinvent ourselves, do something completely different, and create a new organization.
Une des premières victoires importantes, là, si on regarde au Saguenay-Lac-Saint-Jean, ça a été la première grande manifestation suite à la création d'Unifor. Toute une région, autant de l'aluminium que de la foresterie, manifestait pour faire reculer le gouvernement du Québec sur une position qui affectait les droits des travailleurs dans le secteur de la forêt. On a réussi à faire prendre un engagement au gouvernement du Québec de modifier la loi pour protéger les droits des travailleurs en forêt.
Defeating Tim Hudak and his regressive agenda was probably one of the most important things that we've done in Ontario.
Hudak was talking about implementing right-to-work legislation, stripping union rights. And we knew that if he was successful, it would have had a detrimental impact, not only to the entire labor movement, but to Canadians.
We had Bill 1, which was a horrendous piece of legislation that attempted to take uniform members and place them in another union to weaken our bargaining power. In the end, we won. It was a huge victory.
My God, I've spent my entire life waiting to find people who will defy perverse and ugly legislation, and it's happening in Unifor.
I know as Unifor was being formed, one of the serious questions in the mind of the leadership was about organizing. And like the Casino-Rama victory, the largest organizing victory in Ontario in this century.
Congratulations, everybody. Great job.
Well, the first major set of negotiations we had under Unifor was with Resolute. And when the dust settled, it was a message to corporate Canada that Unifor is a stronger union than any of our predecessing organizations. And we're here to stay and we're here to fight. Another huge victory for us was what we did in Metro bargaining.
Unifor played a very significant role in making some really noteworthy improvements for part-time workers in particular.
Congratulations. We are back.
I'm impressed with Unifor's commitment to some of the more challenging sectors to organize, so whether we're talking about retail or freelance workers.
Take a look at the freelance union. Come in together as a collective force so that they can unite as a group and have power. We've had 3 years of fighting. Within the companies at the bargaining table, we've had 3 years of asserting our agenda.
We went to the CLC convention supporting Hassan Youssef.
We have got to fight back against the forces across this country, both government and employers who are determined they're going to push us back on the gains we have made in making this country a better place.
We deserve more of our governments than a cold and ruthless hacking away at the very fabric of our communities and the very things that speak to who we are as a people and as a society.
I challenge you to send Prime Minister Stephen Harper a message on Election Day. You to say no to these cuts we have all across the country.
The day after Stephen Harper was no longer the Prime Minister, just felt really good. It felt really good that, to have a Prime Minister that you could be proud of, that acknowledged climate change, that acknowledged labor and unions, that acknowledged women, that acknowledged so many things that are critical.
Puis là, tu peux commencer à leur donner de l'information de façon positive sur qu'est-ce que les syndicats font. On leur a vraiment établi comment nous, on défendait les intérêts, pas juste des syndicats, mais de toute la société en général, les femmes, les familles, parce qu'après ta journée de travail, tu as une vie.
It's been very important for us to have a partner like Unifor on issues of healthcare and trade and public water and all the justice and equality issues. It's been really an important new creation in our country.
I just find the folks at Unifor to be almost a kindred spirit in terms of the understanding that social justice and the values that the country is hinged on, things like fairness and equity and respect for multiculturalism. Those just don't happen. Sometimes we have to struggle together to make them happen.
We received a phone call that there were fires in Fort McMurray. We had to evacuate our members' homes, burned to the ground. From the very first day when I was leaving this city, I received a call from Jerry Dias. 2 questions that he asked: are you okay? And what can we do to help? Then that huge donation that went into the Red Cross put money in the hands not just of our members, it was in every resident from Fort McMurray. There was an immediate influx of cash from people who were out of their homes and maybe needed that money to be able to rent a hotel or buy a meal. We'd like to see pride in our activists. They were able to tell other members, this is what it means to belong to Unifor.
If you take a look at where we're at today, I think it's been a heck of a 3 years.
Après 3 ans, on peut dire qu'il y a un franc succès. Ils ont réussi à former ce regroupement-là et chacune des organisations n'a pas perdu son âme, a fait en sorte que ça a créé une organisation syndicale importante.
Congratulations to Unifor for what you've done in the last 3 years, because it has been incredible.
There has been a real sense of shifting what we think is possible.
I didn't believe we would be here 3 years ago, to be perfectly candid with you. But we are, and that's as a result of 310,000 members understanding that with one voice, we can do anything.